Once there was a king who went on holiday with his friends. The king loved poppies, his favourite flower. While picking poppies, he forgot about his friends. Hours passed, and when he looked around, the king realized he was lost. All he had were the poppies he had picked. The king was thirsty and far from home. He thought, maybe there's a river nearby. As he searched, he saw a house on a hill. I'll ask for water there, he thought. The king walked up the hill to the house. A young woman was working in the garden outside. "Hello, young lady," said the king. "Can I have some water? I have been picking flowers all day and am very thirsty." "Of course," said the woman. "But may I ask, why is a young man like you picking poppies? Don't you have other work to do? Most men don't pick flowers." "Ah, well," said the king, "I am not just any man. I am a king." "Oh," the woman bowed. "I didn't know you were a king. Would you like to try some pumpkin juice instead?" "Pumpkin? What is that?" asked the king. In his country, there were no pumpkins. The woman showed him her garden. "I grow pumpkins. It's my job." "What a strange plant," said the king. "But no, I just want water." "Before you leave, you must try pumpkin. It's very special," said the woman. "I'll get you some water now." The woman went inside but came back looking sad. She showed the king a jug. "I'm sorry, but this is the only jug I have. It's old and dirty. It's not good enough for a king. You should drink from a gold jug with water from the mountains." "No, no," said the king. "This jug is fine. I just need water." The woman filled the jug and gave it to the king. After drinking, she took the jug and threw it on the ground, smashing it into pieces. The king was surprised. "Is this normal in your country? Should I break my friends' jugs too?" The woman smiled. "You are a king. This jug was old and simple, but because a king used it, it became special. I don't want anyone else using it." The king thought for a moment. It reminded him of the poppies. When you pick a flower, it dies, but you still remember its beauty. Wasn't the jug the same? "That's a lovely idea," said the king. "Thank you for the water. I hope your pumpkins grow big." "Don't forget to try one before you leave," the woman called as the king left. The king stayed in the country for a month, often thinking about the woman. One night, a friend served him pumpkin for dinner, and the king loved it. That night, he dreamed of the old jug. In his dream, something small was inside the jug, but he couldn't see what it was. The dream gave him an idea. Before leaving the country, the king sent a man to the woman with a pumpkin and a jug with a tiny hole in the top. The man said, "The king has a game for you. You must put this pumpkin inside the jug, but you can't break either of them." The woman was confused. "That's impossible. The king will punish me." "Don't worry," said the man. "He just wants to see if you can do it. I heard you like breaking jugs, but this one can't be broken." The woman thought for a while and asked, "What do I get if I succeed?" "Wait and see," the man replied. The king returned home, hoping the woman would solve the puzzle. In his country, a king could only marry a non-royal woman if she completed an impossible task. He hoped she could win his game. Months later, the king returned to the country and visited the woman again. "Hello, have you solved my puzzle?" he asked. The woman smiled and handed him the jug. "Look inside." The king looked, and there it was, the pumpkin, perfectly inside the jug. "You did it, but how?" "First, what's my reward?" she asked with a smile. The king laughed. "Would you like to grow pumpkins in my garden?" "I can do that here," she replied. "But if we marry, you can grow them in my royal garden." The woman blushed. "Are you asking me to marry you?" "I'd break 1,000 jugs to show you I'm serious," said the king. "Then yes," she said. 1,000 times yes. They married, and the king asked her how she had put the pumpkin in the jug every day. Finally, after they were wed, she told him, "I took the seeds from the pumpkin and grew a new one inside the jug," she said. "It was easy," the king laughed. "That's what I saw in my dream, the seed inside the jug." He kissed her and said, "Now why don't we grow something else?" "Like children?" she asked with a smile, and they didn't need a jug for that.